A CPA is someone who can be trusted and is reliable, and we're seen to be impartial and honest and trustworthy people. So the program instills in you the whole process of doing things right.
Fred Earle is a practicing chartered professional accountant with Fred Earle & Associates, CPAs in St. John's. In this role, Fred leads a team who provides a full range of professional accounting services for their clients in Newfoundland and Labrador. Fred was born and raised in St. John's. Fred's father, Charles, was a chartered professional accountant, and Fred got an early taste of auditing while helping his dad on one of his annual volunteer audit engagements. The old adding machine from his days helping his dad now sits proudly in Fred's office.
You used to have to punch in the numbers and everything, and you actually pull down the lever because it was a mechanical contraption inside that was doing the mathematics, not electronics. Everything would print out on the tape, and at the end you'd have to read the numbers on the tape. Hopefully it was the same as what's written in the ledger, so you don't have to add them all up again.
Although accounting was in his family, Fred initially began his university studies with marine biology in mind.
Both myself and my brother Dave, who's also a CPA, we were fairly avid scuba divers at the time, and I used to do a lot of biology. I liked science, and I thought I'd do a career in marine biology. But after a couple of years of that, a bit of common sense kicked in, and off to the School of Business, and with the plan to do a chartered accountant designation at the time.
Fred graduated from Memorial University of Newfoundland with a Bachelor of Commerce in 1983, and in 1986 he obtained his accounting designation while articling with Clarkson Gordon at their St. John's office. In 1986, before receiving the results of his final exams, Fred was offered a job as Director of Finance with the Waterford Hospital Corporation.
I had a career change shortly after I wrote the exams. I think I wrote the exams, and probably within a week or two I left public practice. I had a job offer from a client, the Waterford Hospital, and I went there as a Chief Financial Accountant, and I stayed there for 9 years. And then after that I left and went out to in private practice for myself.
Fred has remained in public practice ever since. Fred's outlook on volunteering and community work has always been very straightforward: to help out wherever he can by using the skills he has to make the community a better and kinder place.
It feels good to help other people, and there's a lot of services that are being provided by the volunteer sector, and they need help and support, and there's a lot of individuals out there in the community that need a hand and a bit of help and support, and if I've got the time and the ability to provide some services to help them out, I'd gladly do it.
Over the years, Fred has been involved with Scouts Canada as a leader in all levels of the organization. He has also served on other boards as director and/or treasurer, specifically with the Canadian Mental Health Association, Newfoundland Division, Stella Bury Community Services, and the Newfoundland and Labrador Federation of School Councils. Currently, Fred is a member of the Rotary Club of St. John's. He also serves in roles as treasurer, board member, or volunteer with the Agnes Pratt Nursing Home, Gower Street United Church, Camp Morristown Development Committee, Scout Camp, Rotary Club of St. John's Endowment Foundation, Stella Bury Community Services, Finance Committee, and CPA NL Practice Inspection Committee. As part of his volunteer work with the Rotary Club of St. John's, Fred loves participating in the annual Christmas Hamper Project, which provides 300+ food hampers to Bridges to Hope, as well as summertime barbecues for the Waterford Hospital's community support programs. Fred also enjoys taking part in the annual CPA NL volunteer tax clinics, where he and other CPAs help support vulnerable communities within the province.
Our community is a much better place thanks to Fred Earle. Fred is always there to help out, always to be involved. And you know what's special, I think, about Fred is his discretion, his dignity, and his care, and his quietness as he goes about his community work. He never looks for fanfare, never looks for accolades. Fred is the most reliable person I've ever worked with, and it can always be counted on, and it's always willing to help where help is needed.
Fred currently lives in Mount Pearl with his spouse Pam, their son Ryan, and their 2 Shih Tzus, Ziggy and Tico. Fred's pastimes include traveling, gardening, and hiking on local trails.
Every year we go for at least one trip up to the Bonavista Peninsula and hike the Skirming Trail. That's a must. We go there with friends. It's one of our favourite places to go.
The rest of his spare time is usually spent in Brigast at their almost 200-year-old summer home. Here, Fred is always busy working on various projects that keep him immensely satisfied.
My father, he received his FCA in his day as well, so it's nice to be able to follow up on his footsteps a bit. It was very humbling to receive the recognition. You don't do the volunteer things you do to be recognized, but still nice.
We are pleased to introduce our new fellow, Mr. Fred Earle.